Oh, right. Well, now, all right, so you talk about, like, getting into, like you said, getting into using all the synths and stuff. What, you know, I know you said you had the M3 and the mini mode rig. So as time wore on, what kind of additions did you have to that setup?
Not much. I had the Prophet 600,
Okay.
which was my big analog polysynth, which actually was a pretty great piece. You know, I couldn't afford a Prophet 5, but right exactly when it came out, I had enough money to buy something, and it was going to come down to that or DX7. They both came out at pretty much the exact same time. And after playing them, I pretty much knew immediately that I was, you know, the analog sound kind of guy. The DX7 wasn't going to cut it. And I have a lot more respect for the DX7 now. I actually really like what it can do when you layer a bunch of them together. It's still, to me, it's not a very useful piece of equipment on its own. You get into the what was the rack mount unit? Was it the TX something? Remember the one that had like 7 modules in it? It doesn't matter. But anyway, there was a rack mount unit that basically had the brains of 7 DX7s in it, if memory serves. And then you're getting into some serious sound there. That thing was cool.
Right.
Or even a bunch of the little modules, the little 2-operator modules.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You get about 5 of them, you know, and that was pretty hit too. But now the one thing that I do love, believe it or not, I have a DX7 right now that belongs to our guitar player.
Really?
As a controller. Just strictly as a controller. I love that thing. Action is just great.
You know, I picked up a DX27S.
Yeah, those are good too.
And it's kind of like, you know, like the Kid Brother. And it's got speakers built in. I think it's a 4-operator or something like that.
Okay.
But it's got some fun little sounds. You know, it's real campy.
But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, I had the Prophet 600.
Right.
I think I had a Pro 1. So
Really?
I had the Minimoog and the Pro 1. Oh, wait, no. That wasn't mine. I had one for a while, but that stayed back in Denver. I had that Sile electric piano that I was talking about, which was a weird beast, but it was cool.
Right.
I mean, it was every bit as cool as the RMI.
Right. Sort of like an electronic piano kind of situation.
It seems like I had a... Oh, I know what I had. I had a Casio CZ101.
You had a what now?
A CZ101.
Yes! Those are awesome.
It was awesome. It did some cool stuff. I actually had a violin sound on it that we used for a couple violin songs that it was actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, did you get that was the one with the strap, right? Or am I thinking
was it? Oh, no, well, it was so tiny, yeah, maybe you could strap it up. It was this little bitty thing that had mini keys. I never actually played it. I used it as a layering module for the Prophet. And I think I always just layered sounds in. I think I very rarely played the keyboard itself, because, I mean, literally, it had mini keys that were like a quarter of an inch big or something on it. So.
Right, it's really tough to play those.
But that thing, it was sweet. You couldn't program it, hardly.
Right.
But it has some, and that was kind of my digital sound was actually coming out of that thing. That was my digital keyboard.
Oh, that's cool.
And like I said, I did have a Prophet Pro 1 for a while. I had this thing. I've never seen anybody else do it. Here's an interesting trick for you people. If you ever go through a time warp to the Dark Ages and you don't have a polysynth, but you have 2 monosynths and you want to play chords, what you do is you patch them up so they sound more or less the same.
Okay.
And then you tune one of them to a fifth. You play an open fifth on one keyboard, and you play the third on the other one. And your brain will hurt. But if you want to play a C minor, you play C with the open fifth on one keyboard, but then you play the E minor on the other keyboard. But you can swap back and forth between the minor and the major or what have you on your second keyboard. And I actually developed a technique where I could do that. I could play chords by playing the fifths on one side and the whatever interval in between that I wanted on the other one.
Oh, that's really interesting. Almost like makes me think of this chord organ.
Yeah, maybe. But it was tricky. I mean, you really had to sit down and work it out, but I don't think I've ever seen... Of course, nobody had to do it. Why would you do that? But unless you were stuck in a situation where I was, where, you know, I had 2 mono synths and had to make something happen, so...
Wow.
At some point, I'll make a video of actually attempting to do that if I can think of it at some point.
Yeah, man, I'd like to hear that. It sounds cool.